So I have been a Gene Keys enthusiast for many years, and as also an expressive arts therapist and a healing artist and the creator of the Wisdom Keepers Oracle deck, one of my deepest commitments has been to take the essence of the Gene Keys and make it accessible and relatable to all kinds of people and all kinds of places and in all kinds of ways. And now I find myself completely blessed to be working alongside some of the most inspiring, loving, and talented people that I know, all the way from the US to the UK to Uganda, on a universal love curriculum. Our global and multidisciplinary team is destined to grow and deepen in the years to come, very possibly with some of you whose intuitive hearts are already lighting up right now as you watch this video. We all firmly believe that this unique curriculum project, or ULC is what we call it, has the potential to lay a strong yet flexible foundation for the loving, compassionate world that so many of us are feeling the call to build. The Universal Love Curriculum is full of exactly what it sounds like, a whole lot of universal and Gene Keys infused wisdom, as it says in the introduction to the curriculum, lovingly written and synthesized by my beloved sister, Rosy Aronson. We breathe the same air. We smile, we bleed, we cry, we rejoice. No matter what age we are or where we find ourselves, we all need to grow, to move from the unknown to the known, to expand and evolve. We need to learn how to think critically, how to make good decisions, how to resolve conflict, and how to approach life's inevitable challenges. We need self-awareness, self-confidence, and self-respect. We need to learn how to practice love, how to hold responsibility, and how to have a positive impact on the world around us. We need to learn to partake in the natural cycle of give and receive. We need to connect deeply with the web of life. So, speaking of the web of life, for those of you who are familiar with the Dream Arc, an imaginative, right-brained approach to the Gene Keys, you will be so excited to know just how deeply the spirit of the Dream Arc is integrated into this particular curriculum. The ULC, similar to the online course for adults that was built to get them offline, is designed to unleash students' creativity, unlock their intuitive wisdom, and connect them to the deep ancestral power of Gaia and all of her inhabitants. The Dream Arc infuses the curriculum with dream exploration, sacred play, collaboration, and vision manifestation. And then, of course, there are the animals. So here, let me read another short passage from the introduction. Animals provide a pathway to self-exploration and growth. They serve as a portal to curiosity, compassion, myth, and metaphor. They allow students to explore their own associations and fantasies. They expose students to and connect them with different lands, wisdom traditions, and ways of living, providing students with deeper insight about their own culture and land as they learn how their people had traditionally related to these animals. While we all hold the vision that this curriculum will be adapted by people all over the world, the Universal Love Curriculum is deeply rooted in African, Indigenous, and ancestral wisdom. The core teachings and approach reflect an ongoing collaboration that's taking place with Samson Turanawe, the executive director of Universal Love Alliance, and a group of highly committed Ugandan elders and educators, all of whom are weaving together a diverse yet connected tapestry of Indigenous wisdom grounded in an ancient connection with nature, animals, and ritual. So I'd like to share yet another quote from one of our cherished and highly respected collaborators, Professor Kabwagwere of Uganda. He has a master's in sociology and was a member of parliament in Uganda for years, and was one of the leaders responsible for liberating Uganda from one of its most oppressive dictators, Idi Amin. Many people in Uganda and the world find themselves feeling disconnected from their own reality and the context of their reality. When people are dislocated in this way, it becomes challenging to overcome fears, be confident, take responsibility, and treat others the way they themselves would love to be treated. In the context of colonization, different values and beliefs are imposed on people without their choice. Through that process, people become myth-shaped. They end up hating themselves because they're told that what they've believed, that what was handed down to them from their elders and ancestors has been wrong. Colonized people become uprooted in the deepest sense of the word. People can become uprooted, divided, and disconnected not only by colonialism, but by global influences and political shifts. There are many ways in which people lose touch with who they are. What we wish to do is to repair that disconnect and to remind people of their true nature and dignity. So a few years ago, when this curriculum was just a little possibility seed that Samson Tuanawe, my sister Marilee, and I were exploring together, Marilee and I asked Samson a question. We asked him, so how do you even feel about this project, the potential of it? And this was his, what we now consider quite prophetic response to that. So I'm going to read that too. This is a very powerful project. This is not just a course curriculum. This is a movement that has the potential to bring about new ways of thinking and doing in Africa and beyond Africa. A universal love curriculum such as this can have an historic impact, just like the old missionaries who came to Africa had such a profound influence on the culture. But the movement we're talking about is a new mission, a mission that can undo the harm and unfortunate misinterpretations that came out of the original missionary work that came to Africa. We have the potential to change the psyche of Africa and other countries that have been similarly fractured or separated from their spiritual memories, and to heal the wounds of history. This is deeper than it may seem. I watched Richard's story about how he received the gene keys. This is at the core of what we're doing here. So I'd like to read one last passage from the curriculum's introduction, synthesized by my sister so lovingly, and here it goes. This curriculum is not just about the hows and whos, it's about the whys. One thing is to have the intellect, information, and the capacity to know how to build, do, and create things. It's a whole other thing to know why one builds, does, and creates things. What's the higher purpose behind what we do? Is there a higher purpose? And if not, why do it? This is where the wisdom comes in. During one of our very early brain and heart storm sessions with Richard around the curriculum, he talked about the difference between wisdom and knowledge. He said that knowledge comes in through the mind and the brain, but wisdom lives inside of us and must be invited out. If the ULC has a goal, it is to help young people realize that they already have the wisdom within them. They carry within them the answers to the questions that so many of us have in our hearts. How do we come to recognize our common humanity? How do we act with compassion and respect towards ourselves and for the dignity of all beings? How do we come together in love, integrity, and compassion? If you've been asking these kinds of questions or looking for meaningful, uplifting, and paradigm-shifting projects that really need your support, please come join our movement to spread universal love to and through the hearts of children everywhere.